She's April.
And she's Molly.
And we are
the Book Besties. Is it okay that I pictured Zachary Levi now?
For you, I hope he is.
He's over 6 foot. I could climb him like a tree.
Rocky Mountain High and all that jazz. I get it. But
why is it so thick?
Why is it so fucking long?
No, I want Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
What? You are not a robot?
What is wrong with you? I have the hiccups. I have the hiccups. I am legit concerned that Tom is going to be really mad with this episode because he's going to be editing out all my hiccups.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah.
It's going to be like half of the ending. He's just going to have all your hiccups compiled together in one little song.
Don't encourage him.
This is why he and I are not left alone a lot.
So I have to tell you something.
Oh no.
So you know how Facebook has like the like memories? And
yeah.
Okay. So Facebook memories today.
Mm-hmm.
The past 2 years on this date, we've announced our March our March episodes.
Okay.
And I need to post the ones for March. Mm-hmm. Probably should do that. But it reminded me that this will be the third March in a row that Chezzy has guest starred with us.
Duh. She's the bestie.
But did you know that?
No.
I didn't either. And I was like, yeah, because the first one we did with her was Cats and Yammer. And then we did Grey Miss Fair last year. And this year she's coming on to talk about the Grace Year, which is not her book.
It's such a good book, though.
Yeah, I haven't started it yet.
You're going to love it.
But I'm actually taking 2 weeks off. I think we had already announced that I was having surgery, but long story short, I'm not having surgery anymore, but I'm still leaving the pod unsupervised because
the group chat is taking over!
I'm leaving the group chat unsupervised. I was supposed to have surgery, and so I had planned to miss 2 episodes, and Katie was going to fill in, and I was going to use my time resting from my surgery to read books for work because I'm working on our Battle of the Books, and
it takes up a lot of time because
I still need to read all those books, so I'm still going to take the 2 weeks off as planned.
I mean, you need to. That's a lot of reading.
Well, in one of those weeks, I actually am having a procedure done, and I will be resting that week. So,
right. Tom's and I'm burping from my root beer. Tom's gonna hate this episode so much. So, I got my nails done today because I got out of work early.
That's nice.
Why did I get out of work early, you might ask? Cockroach Gate is still going on.
You are going to need to explain more than that. Use more words.
In the group chat, the beginning of the week, I told you and Katie that work got derailed for a good 2 hours because one of the departments found a bug in the building, and it became a hoopla because cockroaches in an office building freaks people out. Well, that has escalated to the point now where they are bug bombing our office today. It went from more cockroaches to them arguing about who brought the cockroaches in to we're bug bombing it, everybody leave at 3:30.
The winter brought the cockroaches in.
They were working on the roof. There was a lot of things that came about that brought this on. And my logical brain and my logical thought was not being heard in that moment. The chaos that was coming from the department that was creating it, was feeding the fire.
Well,
I see how Salem witch trials happen now. That's all I'm going to say.
All I heard was you got to leave work early and get your nails done.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
You bitch.
But I also did bring work home with me because I do have things to do later. But balance. Okay. I still got my nails done though. They look really nice.
Great. I'm super proud of you. All right, so today is the last episode, right? Yes, of February. It's the last episode. It is the last episode of February of our romance reads, and we are reading this book, or we're discussing this book, The Wall of Winnipeg and Me,
which is the longest romance novel I think I've ever read.
Why is it so thick?
Why is it so fucking long?
Oh my gosh, we're gonna talk about
that. That's what she said.
We're gonna talk about that because I have that in the notes.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Fuck me. Okay. Huh?
No, thank you.
I thought you said yes, and I was like, this, I don't know how to respond to that. All right, do you want a synopsis?
I would like one, please, yes, so people know what we're talking about. Hey, we're back to spoilers, gang. Now that Nikki's gone, we're back to spoilers.
Oh my gosh, her book came in the mail the same day as Olivia Dave's.
Is it so pretty?
Oh my gosh. Do you want to see it?
I want to see it.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that beautiful color.
Look at
the yellows and the oranges and the reds.
It is freaking gorgeous. Freaking gorgeous. I love it. Anyway, so we read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. All right, so you want a synopsis?
I would love one. Hit it.
Look at us being all fucking efficient.
I guess.
The Wall of Winnipeg and Me is an enemies to lover, fake marriage, incredibly slow burn between a professional football player and his former assistant.
Burn.
Vanessa Arvan has worked for Aiden Graves for 2 years, and she's finally had enough when she overhears a conversation between Aiden and his agent, in which the agent refers to her as a donut without a brain. Leading up to that, Aiden was a demanding boss who never seemed to appreciate Van, but Van kept the demeaning and stressful job because she had a significant amount of debt from student loans. After she quits, Aiden shows up at her apartment to essentially beg Van to marry him so that he can become an American citizen, regardless of his work status, because that could potentially change with him transferring teams and he could lose his work visa. He's Canadian. A Canadian who plays American football.
Because we needed that.
After Aiden sweetens the pot to include paying off Van's loans and buying her a house, she agrees to marry Aiden in Vegas in an awkward ceremony where Aiden doesn't even have a ring for her.
High five.
As the story progresses, we learn that Van has always been attracted to the Wall of Winnipeg, and who wouldn't be? I mean, look at him. But she's actually starting to feel more than spite in her heart as well. As it turns out, Aiden has been there the whole time.
Oh, Jesus.
Content warnings for this book.
Yes.
This book discusses domestic violence, abuse of a child, abuse of relatives, and contains violent scenes.
Viewer discretion advised.
Reader discretion advised.
Well, if you're
watching. And listener of pod discretion advised.
And viewer of pod. Let me go. Viewer of pod.
Well, now we've met all of the
levels of high.
Oh my gosh. I'm really concerned for us. You know, we've both been really doing a shitty job of pod lately.
Nah, I love it. I love it.
Neither one of us have posted TikToks or Reels, and
we're trying. Life is hard right now. I'm getting settled in a brand new job. And you're really battle of the books.
Yeah, and I'm in pain. Well, you always are in pain too. We're both in bad places. I'll try to make some this weekend, so if you like our content, I'll try to make some and have them posted this month.
I don't know. TikTok deleted the 6 I had saved and gave me ones from 2021.
Well, I banked a whole bunch of TikToks.
2022 the other day.
I banked a whole bunch of TikToks and then changed phones and forgot that meant I couldn't get them back. Okay. So questions. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. This book was recommended to us by our friend Heather from Bookables, but it was actually originally recommended to Heather and to me by a former coworker named Alyssa. And this book is wildly popular. It actually was self-published, and Avon picked it up and released this new cover edition. And this just actually came out. Was it last year, this cover edition, or was it this year? This year. It actually came out this year.
Avon, I got a bridge to sell you if you're buying stuff like this.
But Avon is usually, I mean, I don't really love Tessa Bailey, but even like, I don't know. Avon's usually pretty good.
Tessa Bailey is consistent, though. You know what I mean?
I know what I'm going to get from her. I'm going to get a solid 3 out of 5 every time.
She's consistent.
But that doesn't mean I hate it.
We're always going to laugh. Mm-hmm. We're always going to giggle. There's going to be sex. It might be a little awkward. I don't know why. It's always awkward for Tess Bailey. And then...
Why was the fish still on the table?
I don't know.
Like, did we just not clean it up? There's fish on the table and you're fucking. And oh baby, they look so pretty. I don't know. Your camera might be blurry.
Better?
Maybe my glasses are blurry. Okay. So I need to know, what did you think about this book and Mariana Zapata's writing?
Okay. I like her writing. I like her voice. I think she has a solid structure. I think she knows who she is as an author. She's just given me way too much of it. Like,
she would have definitely benefited from an editor going, you don't need this entire 4 chapters.
There is so many places, and it's not just chapters wise. This story could have been edited in, as I read it, I could imagine 6 different ways of changing this story and narrowing it down. That book is the outline in the first draft of a fucking movie. That's what that is.
I mean, I really liked the character of Zach, but he's not really necessary either. And her best friend that's being abused, not a necessary side point.
We only get like a third of her. We don't get all of her story. We get all of Zach, but we still only get surface shit of him. We're not getting depth there. So why not, if you want to focus on those characters, let's take away from the main character's storyline. They don't need to both be abused. Both have shitty childhoods. Right. Both have terrible family now. But like, you give us, reel it back a little bit. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know that I would read her again. Because I feel like she didn't even give me the payoff I wanted.
If you want me to read her again, you really have to pitch it to me. You better be selling me.
I don't think I would because I didn't even get the payoff. This book is almost 500 pages long, and somehow
last hour is when they kiss. The last hour in the audiobook is when they first kiss. So, do that math, children. Do that book math, children. If the last hour is the first time they kiss, you tell me, little ones, when the better stuff comes.
And I love a grumpy sunshine slow burn. It's my favorite. I even like fake dating and fake marriage. I like a little less, but I like the fake dating.
I'm not a fan of fake marriage.
It's too permanent. Like, I don't get that, but I like the fake dating. But what I was going to say
marriage is more of a honest bond between 2 people.
Yeah.
And when 2 people make that serious of a bond, I think it should not be taken lightly. I don't care if it's man, 100%. Woman. I don't fucking care. So the fake dating trope, it's like the fake pregnancy trope. I hate that shit. It's gross.
Oh, I don't like fake pregnancy, but fake dating doesn't bother me. I think it's kind of cute.
Fake marriage.
Fake marriage.
Yeah.
But you get a slow burn like The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. you
But
get
that's a real slow
an
burn.
amazing sex scene in there. And it's just one. There's just one burn that happens. But it's such it's so compact. I didn't feel like it was too long. It wasn't too slow of a burn. This has like 100 pages on that. I mean, okay, so here's Nikki's book, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Nikki's book. And here's Mariana Zapata's. It's literally half.
Yeah.
It's literally half.
Yeah.
And this book by Nikki was so concise and perfect. And it was a slow burn too.
Ooh, it was a good, but it was a sexy, sticky, slow burn. Sticky slow burns are my new favorite.
I don't like
Coin it, Nikki. Sticky slow burns.
I don't like the term sticky in terms of sex.
But that's kind of what happens, homie.
Yep.
Moving on!
Yep. All right. The book has all the tropes. Fake marriage, enemies to lovers, he falls first, one bed, slow burn. Did the book balance all of these tropes well?
Actually, I don't hate all of them.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't harp on them. It wasn't like, look, it's a trope. Look, it's a trope. Look at the trope. It was a part of the story. She balanced trope and story very well. It was, again, my 95% of beef with this book is the length. That's my problem with it. Like,
I have some other issues with it, but I don't want to bring them all up right here because I have a very long question that's basically just me fucking ranting.
I'm here for it. Cheers.
I didn't mind all the tropes being in there. Molly, I feel like I have beat this dead horse repeatedly. When I read a rom-com, I want the formula. I don't want the formula from something like John Green or or Hank Green or really anything on this side of my bookshelf.
Yeah.
I don't want the formula for that. I want something original and creative. But I read rom-coms for the formula.
Right. It's a comfort read for a reason.
Right.
Romance is a comfort read for a reason.
100%.
I'm not going, surprise me. That's why I read thrillers. That's why I read murder mysteries. That's why I read Karen Slaughter. That woman knows how to write blood.
Yeah, fucking Geneva Rose, that book blew my fucking mind last season.
She's writing a sequel to that, by the way.
Is she? Oh, yeah, I know. I heard that. She's also not just in the mystery genre. She has, like, books.
She has a romance. She is genre fluid.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of that. Like,
but see, I don't really like it when authors do that because I feel like I don't know about Geneva Rose because the only thing I've read by her is that one book. But I feel like when an author is genre fluid, a lot of times what they do is they half-ass all the genres. It's like what Ron Swanson said.
Yeah.
You can't whole-ass two things. Wait, that's not what it is. It's better to whole-ass one thing than it is half-ass two things or something like that. But anyway, that was a dumb thing to say because I can't even get the quote right. But you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Van and Aiden both have dark pasts. We learned that Aiden was abused as a child by his father, and Van was virtually abandoned by her mom and abused by her older sisters. She also doesn't know who her dad is. Did you feel like this connection was necessary to bring them closer together?
I mean, it definitely helps the story, but with the other things they have going, they didn't need this. Her becoming an athlete, great. That's a great way for them to bond. Her working for him, great way to bond. They didn't need all three things, but they needed that part of the storyline for the driving force for, Vanessa's whole storyline. If Vanessa doesn't have that childhood, she doesn't have that. She doesn't have the drive to take care of herself.
So I actually kind of related a little bit to Vanessa's story. Not that my story was that rough, but she kept talking about why it was so hard for her to let go of like her family, despite the fact that they consistently disappoint her and abuse her. And like, I understand that. I understand that. So I connected to that. But I agree with you. Like, she could have had that story, or Aiden could have had that story. Maybe both of them have the story is fine. But I just feel like that didn't need to be the thing that their relationship hinged on.
Yeah.
It also didn't need to be sports either.
No.
There were a lot of things that they had in common. They started watching those weird anime shows.
The Dragon Ball series.
Yeah. So the problem was that, in my mind, Aiden is on spectrum. That was the only way I could.
100%.
That was the only way I could get through this. Was like, Aiden's on spectrum and he
doesn't know how to
social
communicate.
skills. Right.
He doesn't know how to communicate.
Mm-mm.
I mean, look at Matthew Biggs. He only communicates when he has to.
Mm-hmm.
Grunts.
So I know
man.
that you are behind in Love is Blind, and I'm mad at you still for it, but the newest season just came out, and there's this guy on there. Oh my gosh, his name is Matthew. Mm-hmm. He literally has a list of 12 questions and says, pick a number, ask the question to one girl, and she answers it, and she's like, so how about you? And he's like, well, I wasn't expecting to answer the question back. Right? So that was one case. Then he walks out in the middle of one girl talking because he was bored, so he just left. And then, right. And then with another girl, she picked number 4, and he's like, well, 3 other people have picked that number. Can you just pick something else?
Get fucked!
Yeah. That was Aiden. That was Aiden to me.
Yeah. But it's different. Aiden isn't that aggressively intentional. Like, this guy sounds like he's purposely being a dick.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he actually is. I think that he doesn't know how to people, which is what Aiden's problem is.
So, since we're on a Love is Blind tangent, I want to stay on it for half a second. I was watching TikTok a little bit ago, waiting for us to start, and this girl said she was starting the new season and her boyfriend's on it. But she won't say who he is. But she's pissed because...
I'm going to need you to find that TikTok again and send it to me.
You betcha.
Does she have any TikToks with her and the boyfriend that we can
I didn't have time to peruse it because I sat down to look at my phone and then I got mommy 27 times.
Damn kids.
But yeah. So, anyways, Wall of Winnipeg.
Okay. Aiden is a professional football player for a team in Dallas, but, it's not the Cowboys because we can't say NFL or Dallas.
Because we'll get sued.
Well, yeah. We've read a few sports romances before, so how do you think this book did with this genre?
Pretty good. I mean, it's a realistic view of what it's like to be in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're working all the time. That is a valid thing. And they don't make jack shit. Him living in a gated community like that and having to have a roommate is very realistic for the guys that aren't making bazillions of dollars.
But Aiden is. Zach wasn't.
Right. He was just like, oh, it's logical to have a roommate because money saved.
I'm pretty sure his agent just told him he had to, and he was like, okay.
I mean, he's not going to, he doesn't take, he doesn't say no he doesn't, argue very much. It doesn't bother him.
I was a little disappointed in this sports romance.
Yeah?
Because it's not the sports romance I want, Molly.
Right. You want the romance included in the sport.
No, I want Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
I mean, valid, but somebody's got to be out there writing.
I mean, it gave Trav and Tay vibes.
Out there. No, absolutely not. She was not Taylor Swift.
Huh?
She had no Taylor Swift vibes.
The vibe was that she was artsy.
No.
Okay.
I don't see Taylor Swift.
Okay. Well, I don't really either, but I can see Travis Kelce in Aiden.
I see Jason Kelce in Aiden.
I love me some Jason Kelce.
I am
He's the Kelce brother. He's the Kelce brother I would go for.
Exactly. Same. Same. But I'm loving the post Vegas TikToks of him. Mm-hmm. So I'll have to send you a video on TikTok. Someone cut together, I don't know if you've seen the Amazon special, with him in it. There's a documentary on Amazon about him. And he's like, so in the documentary, he's filming the podcast downstairs and the girls won't shut up. And Kylie's like, gotta just just a little bit longer. Daddy's just, please, girls. And the oldest goes, I just gotta dance. Like,
Nice.
And so somebody cut that into whatever song was playing in Vegas, and him in the fucking mask, the Nacho Libre mask, and the just, I gotta dance.
I like that he calls his brother on his shit. And the way that Travis
They both do that.
Kelce acted during the Super Bowl, where he manhandled his coach and yelled in his face.
Yeah, that was very immature.
Jason was like, dude, that's inappropriate. The way you handled yourself was not okay. He called him out. Because people are very divided on this issue. People are like, well, he's an athlete, so of course he's going to be aggressive. People are like, he shouldn't do that. That's an elderly man. That's his coach. Any other job he'd be fired from. People are divided on the issue. Actually, my best friend, Dawn, my other best friend, Dawn, was like, Taylor's going to see past his shit, and this is what's going to be the thing that breaks him up. And I'm like, being aggressive on the field doesn't necessarily mean that you're aggressive in life. But I actually think, here's my take on this. Okay, nobody's asked for it. Nobody's asked, but
don't worry, I got mine too.
I'm going to share the take you never asked for. I think that what he did was disrespectful and inappropriate. But I also think that the culture of your team, the culture of your workplace, because it's a job for him, it comes from the top. So it's somewhere along the lines, that is the leadership that his coach is
That is the behavior that has been acceptable at once upon a time.
And the reason I know that it was an acceptable behavior is because his ass didn't get benched when he did it.
Okay.
And I don't care what fucking game you're playing. You pull that shit, you get benched. And he didn't. So that's the culture his coach has created. And that's not me victim blaming. Don't anybody come at me for that.
Okay, so my 2 cents in this, all right? I don't want to hear anybody say shit. This is just my personal beliefs, okay? 1, it was inappropriate behavior.
100%.
He knows that. 2, and I'm going to say this with a straight face. If a player of color had did this on the Super Bowl, they would have been out of the NFL before that game was over.
100%.
And that's what pisses
If it also
me off.
wasn't Travis Kelce, it could have been another player. But Travis Kelce, he's bringing in Taylor Swift. She's bringing in all her people, bringing in views.
But they have a relationship we don't know about.
He laughed about it after, which some people are like, well, abuse victims, I'm like, that's not what's happening here.
I know violent people. I know the eyes of what it looks like when a man is a violent human being. Travis Kelce's not a violent human being.
I think that he was more trying to get his attention, and the coach said
his anxiety was probably up. He was pumped up. He feels like he fucked up because he did fucked up, and he wanted to get back out there and fixed it. Yeah, and nobody was listening to him.
His coach actually said that the reason that he stumbled was because he wasn't paying attention to the way that. But anyway, nobody asked us for our opinion on this. Nobody fucking cares.
That's it. That's it.
But that's what my opinion is,
and that's mine. So get fucked.
All right.
I love it here. Can we stay here forever?
We're moving right on time today, and I actually think we might finish early, which is concerning because we should not read a 500-page book and not be able to fill an hour of content. That's a problem.
There's a lot of problems there, yeah.
Aiden has a roommate named Zach who quickly becomes Van's best friend because why the fuck not? So What did you think about their relationship?
It's so weird.
I kept thinking Zach was gay.
Zach,
closeted football player.
Yes, that's how it felt like she started writing him. And then the secret romances and the girls that never stuck around. And then he fell in love with the girl back home, but that wasn't a consistent storyline either. That character didn't have consistency. That was really frustrating. 2, he was part Matthew McConaughey for some reason, which I'm really frustrated because, woman, have you never met anyone from Texas? Nobody other than McConaughey and the Wilson brothers sound like that. You know what I mean?
She's from Colorado, so.
Yeah.
She might not know about Texas.
Rocky Mountain High and all that jazz. I get it. But I lost my train of thought. You can go now.
I didn't feel like Zach's story was necessary at all. Like, he got fired from the team and he just, like, hangs around.
He's another puppy.
That's 100% not what an NFL player would do. It doesn't matter that you're the fourth string. You are fucking hustling to get picked up by a team.
Do you follow Isaac and the Rochelles on TikTok? He's a football player that's constantly jumping from team to team, and like they film content about that. I'll send you one of their TikToks. They just recently had a kid, but he shows what it's like to leave a team, bust ass to get back on a team. And that's 100% what these people are doing. Because the NFL is the dream of a lifetime.
And we have a few real examples from this season alone. Like Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns, right?
Yep.
Cleveland Browns drafted him first round after our perfect losing season. We lost every motherfucking game.
Congratulations.
In 2 seasons, we only won 1 game. And the way that we broke that cycle was not even to win. We tied.
I know.
It's painful to be a Browns fan. But I'm speaking to a Cowboys fan, so.
Which I have a offer.
Are you gonna let me finish my thought?
I guess. Yeah.
Damn it, Molly. So Baker went from the Cleveland Browns to Carolina Panthers.
Right.
In the middle of that season, he went to the LA Rams.
I remember.
And now he's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and took them to the playoffs. Although, side note, Baker, I'm so fucking proud of you, but also you are in the worst conference in the entire motherfucking NFL.
Seriously.
Nobody wanted to win that conference. That's how you got to the playoffs, baby. But anyway, we also have Joe Flacco, who was literally sitting on his mom's couch watching football.
You're doing Italian hands.
And the Browns were like, we could use a quarterback. So he took the Browns to the playoffs. By the way, I saw a very, very, very funny comment that was like a screenshot from Twitter that was like, because Joe Flacco won the comeback award.
Right.
Instead of the guy that died. Darnell Harmon.
Oh, shit.
Google it while I tell you what it says.
No, because I'm going to forget.
Okay, well, anyway, it said, once again proving that it is harder to take the Browns to the playoffs than it is to come back from the dead. It's painful being a Browns fan.
I actually have a suggestion for the Cowboys this year.
Win some games? Stop dropping the ball.
We have to embrace who we truly are, Dallas. Mm-hmm. America's villains.
Yeah. Well, the Raiders are kind of America's villains.
Oh, but recently, everybody's really been mad at us. So here's the thing. I really, truly think the Lions have earned America's team after this past year. Everyone in America wanted the Lions to go to the Super Bowl.
I really did.
I wanted them to. I
don't even think Michigan should be a state. I think we should give it to Canada, but I wanted the Lions to.
I really think they've earned America's team after that this year. And we should become America's villain. Because, listen, let's twirl those mustaches, motherfuckers, because that's what we are.
Somebody has to be the villain.
Someone has to be the villain.
So back to the book.
It's football content. It counts.
It is. I just don't feel like Zach's story lined up for what we would expect from somebody in the NFL or what we would expect from, like, why are they roommates? Even if you are not making bank in the NFL, you're still making enough money that you don't have to have a roommate.
I think really what this came down to was she's like, okay, a lot of this time is going to be spent in the house and the football stadium, and we're not going to know it's Texas. So we really have to lay in that this is Texas. How can I do that? Oh, I know. I'm a Matthew McConaughey roommate. Yes!
Also, you just reminded me of something. There is no fucking way. Mariana Zapata, do you know anything about football? There is no fucking way that somebody is cut from an NFL team and they go watch them in the stands.
No.
That's not going to happen.
No. Also, I want to talk about that scene for a fucking moment. I'm actually really fucking pissed about that scene. I am so pissed about that scene. I wanted to throw my book and I didn't have a physical fucking book. Mariana, I am so goddamn disappointed in you.
I threw mine for you.
Thank you. I'm so goddamn disappointed in you. You put that woman in her best friend's jersey after she married a man on the field, and you didn't make any internet drama about it. You didn't blow it up and make it into this huge tearing moment in their relationship to fuck their shit up. You had a moment that could have really caused a rift and really give your relationship some rocks, and you just smoothed past it. Dumb.
Mm-hmm.
One writer to another. Dumb.
Can confirm.
Dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, moving on. Sorry, what was the question?
What did you think about Van and Zach's relationship?
I thought it was cute. She didn't need two best friends, though. She didn't.
That's my point. Either have the guy best friend or the girl best friend, but neither one of them should have been on the team with Aiden.
Neither of them.
That was a mess.
Neither of them were a full character.
Mm-mm.
She should have taken the effort to make the two side characters to make one big character.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it would have been a much better bonding thing if she and Aiden ran together.
Yeah.
Now I realize that he can't. He's coming off of an injury.
He's a mountain.
But nobody needed him to come off of an injury. Like, that didn't need to be a part of the plot.
Bunk, bunk, bunk. Every time he ran, the world shakes.
And also, the sheer amount of motherfucking times that he's referred to as the Wall of Winnipeg, we get it. He's big. We fucking get it.
We understand the man is a mountain. We understand. He's a wall. You keep saying it.
Is it okay that I pictured Zachary Levi now as Aiden?
No. He's too little.
No, he's not.
Okay. He's not for you.
He's over 6 foot, and he's all beefy now, which is not
He's
my
not
thing,
like 300 pound, Winnipeg big.
I bet he's close.
For you, I hope he is. How about you take that after pod? Can we finish questions?
What?
You heard me?
Take what after pod?
Your little daydream about Zachary Levi.
I can't help it.
No, I'm all for it. Just, it's not content.
I disagree with you.
Are you going to verbalize everything you're thinking in your brain?
He's over 6 foot. I could climb him like a tree.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Okay.
You get your first restraining order.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
We get it framed.
Yep, I would. Okay, let's talk about character growth. So I think that Aiden, Van, and Zach, they all have strong character growth in the story, but was it enough for the happily ever after that we actually get?
Van's was natural character growth. I'll agree. Aiden's was natural character growth in the book. But I truly feel like, I will go to my depth saying this, Zach's character growth was like pulling teeth. That was the hardest storyline to get through in this whole novel. Because it's not, there's no
point to it.
It's just chunky and staccato, and that novel does not have chunky and staccato. It is a smooth ride.
I think, and maybe I'm giving Miss Mariana Zapata too much credit.
Maybe.
But I don't think Aiden had growth. I think
not as much as she was pushing off he was.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think he was always hiding his true self because he loved her. And
I think he always had feelings for her.
Didn't want to lose her as his assistant. So he didn't do anything. and I think he probably still felt very unlovable. And
Mhm.
so I don't think there was character growth. I think that he was, and maybe this is just me reading a lot of romances with the grumpy
Mhm.
sunshine, and a lot of times that's what happens, right? They're grumpy, but they love her anyway. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit, but even by the time that they got together, I still didn't feel like they earned it. In
There was,
500
like I'm
pages, I still
saying,
didn't feel like they
that's what I'm
earned it.
saying. It was a smooth ride. There was no trouble in here for them.
Mm-hmm.
There was none. The conflict was is that they didn't realize they loved each other. Give
Yeah,
me a fucking break.
right.
Give me a fucking break.
But if you remember, I
No, I
texted
don't. Come on.
I texted the group chat and
Yeah, I probably
said
do then.
that I'm not prepared for the third act breakup that's going to come with this couple.
Mhm.
There is no third act breakup. There's no miscommunication trope in this unless you count the fact that he loved her all along.
And he didn't tell her he wanted her to go to Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah. But I actually think that that makes sense because when Tom was moving to Houston, we had already decided that we were going to do long distance,
Mhm.
and he never asked me to go with him, and it was just we never talked about it. It was just, I'm staying in Florida, he's going there, we're going to try long distance. And then one night I was like,
This
ask me
is
to go with you.
yeah.
And he was like, I thought that wasn't a possibility, and I was like, just fucking ask me. And he did, and the rest is history.
Obviously.
15 years this year. Next month.
I love it.
No, next month is March. So April is 15 years.
I don't know. I stopped counting.
Okay.
I stopped counting.
It's not like rings in a tree, Molly. It's not hard to count. You just know how many years.
It, we either got married in 7 or we got married in 6. And either started get together in 5 or we got together in 6. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
How do you not remember your anniversary?
ADHD.
Mine's tattooed on my arm.
Yeah, I don't do that. No, I just have his initials in his handwriting. That's MJB squared in his handwriting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Along that vein, that's funny because okay. This story talks about showing up for your person several times throughout.
Be my person.
My favorite was actually when Aiden showed up for the rom-com
Right
festival. And they have the one bed trope and they don't bang. What the fuck, Mariana Zapata? So, what did you think about this, like, showing up for your person?
I think she was showing that they had a strong, consistent relationship the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't acknowledging how the other person felt and whatnot, and that's fine. I don't know. It's like two lost people finding themselves is like the whole vibe of this. It's just
broken people in a broken world that
it
are
just
better with
feels
each other.
so lackluster, and it's like 500 plus pages.
It's not 500 plus. It's almost 500.
Womp womp womp.
It's too motherfucking long. I don't know if you remember, because this is probably like almost a decade ago now. The guy who ran for New York City government under the rent is too damn high. That was his slogan. The rent is too damn high.
I remember that.
My complaint about this book is the book is too damn long.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I want to go to the meat of the biggest issue that I have with this book.
Okay.
So I had a real issue with the way that Vanessa's body is talked about.
Oh my God, yes.
So Aiden and Zach both make comments about her body and how it's changing when she starts working out and she's losing weight, and she questions, what did I look like before? But she doesn't really like shut that down. She doesn't shut that conversation down. And additionally, Aiden actually like comments about how she needs to add in some strength training and she's weak, and this really, really bothered me. It really bothered me. in today's world where we are trying to be so fat positive, all women body shapes are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
How do you take this skinny ass bitch on the cover of this book and talk about her body in a negative way?
It concerns me for how men talk to our author.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If she thinks this is the norm.
It's not even like the book started with Vanessa walking out because she didn't want to be talked about that way.
Because he called her a biscuit.
Biscuit. I said donut earlier, but it was biscuit. You're right.
Biscuit.
But like they made comments about her body before, and she left. But here she was just like she stayed.
But I get it. She doesn't stand up for herself or what.
No.
There's so many levels to this, and I can nitpick at it for hours. But it's just the main thing that bothered me about it was the way the male characters are speaking at her.
Mm-hmm.
If Aiden is autistic spectrum coded,
it's the only way I can like the story somewhat.
Then that makes a little bit more sense for the way he behaves and how he talks. If Zach's queer, then yeah, that would make more sense about him talking about Vanessa's body. Mm-hmm. But two hetero, normal men speaking this way do not speak this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't.
It's gross.
We don't.
And then my other biggest complaint with this book, I haven't rung a bell. I don't know how I've gotten through this episode without ringing a bell, but here you go. There's 3 to make up for it. The 460 pages was how long this book was.
Not a nary a wiener.
We get one sex scene at the very, very end, and it starts where she is asleep in his bed and wakes up to him feeling her up and her going, "When did this start?" Ma'am, that's sexual assault.
Consent.
Ma'am. You built this book up 360 motherfucking pages, and the one time that they get together, it wasn't even consensual?
Again, who are these men in your life, ma'am?
Why was this book recommended to us? By somebody who we trust the thought of. Although this is the second book Alyssa's recommended that we didn't like.
What was the other one?
I don't know, that dead one. The
Dead Romantics?
No, not that one. The one with the
Heart and Mercy.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't take any more Alyssa suggestions.
I'm sorry, Alyssa.
You're out.
We don't do 3 strikes, babe. Two.
You're out.
So the only complaint... Okay, so I have one complaint about this book. Because you covered consent for me. One, I have problems with the dog.
The dog? Oh my gosh. The dog.
It was an unnecessary storyline. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we forget about the dog. Then we don't forget about the dog. Then
he takes the dog to dinner with him and the guys. Like, where are you going to dinner with you and the brothers?
Nobody's gonna tell Aiden while Winnipeg. No.
That's probably true.
If a man that's 7 foot carrying a freaking labradoodle in his left arm, you're not gonna tell him no. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, puppy!
It's a golden retriever.
Excuse me.
I love golden retrievers. That's why I remember. But the dog stayed in the motherfucking crate. Just
having to piss his brains out.
Mm-hmm. So she had to clean him because she
just was a terrible pet parent the first day she had a cat.
I actually did like the storyline that she was afraid of the dark.
I like that too. That was honest and realistic.
Mm-hmm. And that Aiden helped her with that. He cared enough that when she was sleeping, when she was sleeping in his room, he left the bathroom light on so there would be some light.
Yeah,
that was really sweet. That's again showing up for your partner.
Yeah.
So that's the moments where this book hit it for me. Them showing up for each other.
I'm nitpicking at this book. There was a lot of points I really enjoyed in this book. The problems I had were editing, storyline, consistency, and there was no rise and fall. This is
Molly, that's what you need for a book. The only thing you didn't name was plot and setting.
I mean, I liked the characters.
I mean, characters and setting.
I liked the characters. I liked the storyline. It just needed stuff. I don't know how to fucking explain that.
An editor. And a better writer.
Do you have any more questions?
That's all I've got. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
Okay. No. I do not want to add anything else.
I have added plenty.
I have given you all the ads.
I have given you all I can.
I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 because I actually said because there were parts that really made me laugh.
I laughed out loud a couple of times, but it was still a 3 for me.
Yeah.
3s.
Yeah. So we have to talk about what we're doing next month because this is the last episode of this month. And like we said earlier, I'm going to be off for 2 weeks. But you and Katie, what are you guys starting with?
How to Be Eaten. Tom, could you put a picture where you put pictures for April?
Right here.
Thank you. And then Killers.
And I'm very glad I don't have to read How to Be Eaten.
Yeah. I've already read the first girl in the. You would be really upset and mad at me.
I wasn't really happy when I saw it on the list to begin with. So.
Oh, you ever have a veto? You always get veto power.
Listen, I made a way that I didn't have to read that book. Did you notice how I was like, what if we moved this up in the month and then you and Katie can read it?
And then next is Killers of a Certain Age. I've actually already...
Sorry, going back, March 5th is How to Be Eaten. So Killers of a Certain Age is March 12th.
I've actually read this with my husband, but I'm actually rereading it for pod because... And I'm physically reading it and taking notes.
I see that. I'm so proud of you.
I enjoyed this book so much. I think you should read this even if
I actually do think I'm going to read that one.
This is so good.
The only reason...
so clever.
So this book wasn't really originally on our list, but because you were covering...
I was raving about it.
Right, because you were covering for me and I knew Katie wanted to read it, that's why I suggested it go in, because I didn't really want you to have to read an extra book for me. Then I'll be back. And the week that I'm back... That first week, we're going to read this incredibly popular book, Divine Rivals. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. And I bought the sequel, so I better fucking like this book.
I hope we like it.
But I keep seeing all the good things about it. And, I mean, look at the author's picture. She looks like
gorgeous.
She looks like
She kind of looks like Addie.
She does, except with the tattoos. All right, so we're doing Divine Rivals on 3/19. March 19th. That's James's birthday. Not Sammy's. James.
I can't reach Grace here.
And I have it. Then we are wrapping out the month on March 26th with The Grace Year by Kim. God,
I love this
Liggett?
I don't know.
Leggett?
I love it. It's got like got like Hunger Game vibes. It's really good.
I'm excited to read this because I wanted to read this one, and fun story about this book. I think it's Liggett. Anyway, fun story about this book. We didn't have it on the list either. You had read it. You said you wanted to read it. I put it on my TBR. We let Chezzy pick the book that we do with her. And she said, can you send me a list of like ideas? So I sent her a list of books that we had talked about doing, but that had not made the list yet. And she wanted to read this one. It is YA.
It is
right?
So good.
It's YA, which is Chezzy's genre.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be good. I'm really excited for that.
Vibe with it real hard.
Yeah. Always check our social media. Yes, we're gonna get better at posting. We've been really shitty this season.
We've been underwater this season. We're trying, and I honestly don't think it's gonna get better till after Annapolis, but I have high hopes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, we will be at the Annapolis Book Festival at the end of April.
That's right.
If you're in the Annapolis area, the DC area, the Nova area, come and see us. Yeah. We're going to be there talking to some authors. We'll live stream again this year and we'll put together an episode because of it. And I mean, it's going to be fun.
It's gonna be a blast. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Trish is excited. The whole crew over at the book festival is excited. It's gonna be a good year.
And we're gonna be doing a little preview episode this year, right?
We are gonna do a little extra content.
Yeah, pretty exciting. So, okay, so I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, I guess Molly will see you next week, and I'll see you guys in 3 weeks. So
ship up and shape out, gang. It's time.
Fuck me. Bye. Thank you for joining us on Book Besties. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The views discussed here are those of April and Molly, not those of anyone else. Today's book was The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. Your Book Besties are Molly Biggs and April Watkins. Editing by Thomas Watkins. And music is Sleep Sweetly by Prigida. Don't forget to follow the Book Besties on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you'd like to contact the Book Besties, please email us at bookbestiespod@gmail.com or visit our website, bookbestiespodcast.com. Until next time, besties, get lost in your favorite book. Baby, edit the part out where we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.